Because you was around before the East Coast West Coast beef and after, and it seems like before the East Coast West Coast beef.
Well, we never was part. The Def Shack never participated in that. We was always outcast because of that. Because our stance was, nigga, ain't nobody from the East Coast ever shot nobody from 20s. So what the fuck I give a fuck about an East Coast West Coast beef for?
So
You know
y'all
what I'm
wasn't a
saying?
part of that.
No, to me, everybody that was, again, no offense to nobody, but I perceived you as a buster to be in some shit like that. Nigga, I'm from my hood, nigga. You give a fuck about East Coast, West Coast, nigga. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's not
Nigga,
like you going to Harlem.
I'm a block boy for real, my nigga. Like, what the fuck is East Coast, West Coast? What the fuck that's gonna do? What a nigga finna jump on a plane and go put in some work in New York? You know what I'm saying? Like, what it do? There was no, that served no purpose for me. And then as a person who grew up idolizing East Coast artists, I was a Run DMC fan. I was a LL Cool J fan. You know what I'm saying? I was a fan of East Coast hip hop growing up. So East Coast, West Coast beef, I had no understanding of that. And then too, at that particular moment, everybody was so much on Long Beach and G-Funk balls that if you wasn't a Will Smith or a Gladys Knight or anything, I didn't look at you no type of way. You was, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, we that niggas. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody bigger than my homeboy Snoop Dogg, nigga. You can't, nigga. I'm part of Snoop Dogg and Warren G.
But Snoop was tearing down the buildings.
Yeah, he was. Snoop was out there kicking the buildings down. So cut and press a line on you. Like, hold on, cuz.
No, because he wasn't on that. That wasn't the purpose of the kicking over the buildings. You know what I'm saying? When niggas first went out there to shoot the video, they was going out there to shoot some video on some showing some love shit.
And they started hating.
It wasn't until the little shoot thing that they came back and all that was added up in there spur of the moment. But even with that happening, you know what I'm saying, that was some rap shit. He wasn't on that shit. That nigga was fucking with Puffy the whole time, fucking with Biggie and all them niggas. You know what I'm saying? We was in New York when Benny Rat called us and told us, hey, you know, Snoop Dogg is over at that time they was doing Apollo Theater. And at that time, they shot multiple episodes of Apollo. So they were shooting Dog Night, they were shooting, it was Dog in the Dog Pound, they were shooting Brandy, and they were shooting somebody else. You feel what I'm saying? But even then, you know what I'm saying, just by us being in New York, it went around New York and motherfuckers came running to the Def Jam office. Snoop Dogg is in New York. He's over at the Apollo. Nigga, when I say this nigga was Michael Jackson, you feel what I'm saying? And I'm part of that. So, nigga, everybody else to me is a downgrade. You know
Damn, so
that's how we looked at everybody. Like, nigga, I'm a part of, I'm not even from the Dog Pound. But Snoop Dogg is my homie and my friend. Nigga, ain't nobody else, ain't none of y'all, rest of y'all ain't shit.
That's crazy, because I'm thinking y'all went there to kick the buildings over. You saying that got added in after the fact.
Yeah,
I think Snoop told us that.
That was after the shit happened with the shooting thing, but it initially wasn't on no, you know, being on no beef type shit.
So was you there when Pac had that meeting with Nas and they said Nas had to drop on Pac?
No.
Okay.
No. Like at that time, I really didn't connect with Pac on some cool shit until later on.
Till he turned down your
later
fade,
on after I met Richie Rich.
Okay.
After I met Richie Rich and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And bro, Richie Rich was just such one of the coolest, smoothest, realest niggas I ever met, my nigga. Just that nigga whole swag. Richie Rich came in the game and this nigga reminded me of a G Street Billy D. Williams. You know what I'm saying?
That's a cold mix.
You know what I'm saying? Like a street Billy D. Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing gonna get up under my skin and smooth, woo-de woo-woo, but I'm not with the bullshit. I don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? I'm you know what I'm saying? And from me taking that liking to Richie Rich, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I go do the song with him and nigga come pick me up in the motherfucking the classic Cutlass and whatnot, and then I start fucking with 40, and you know what I'm saying, start fucking with B Legit and D-Shot. Next thing I know, I'm doing a song with RBL, Posse, and all these different cats I'm fucking with from the Bay. You know what I'm saying? Then turn around only to go to Can-Am. You know what I'm saying? And now you there.
That's crazy. So
like we wasn't cool. We probably wasn't cool up until he got part of the Death Row thing after I had started fucking with Richie Rich and all them, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you know, Richie Rich, shout out to the homie Lips, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And I knew Richie Rich and Pac was like this. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, I respected him so much. I respected Double R so much to where, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, shit, nigga, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, whatever this was, it was, you know?
Yeah, because we don't hear too many stories about Biggie from West Coast artists. So
I mean,
when
Biggie
I was watching
he used to be out here fucking around.
I know I see he got the famous picture with him and Craig Mack at the VIP in front of the VIP records.
But not just the VIP. I'm talking about just fucking around out here, period. You know what I'm saying? But
because the doc make it seem like Biggie was fucking with the West Coast, but Puffy was trying to make him the face of that East Coast, West Coast. Like, nah, we need to be on
Puffy
this.
was fucking with the West Coast.
Is that right?
That's a bad reputation that they put on Puffy. Puffy wasn't really on that shit like that. Puffy fucked with the West Coast. Puffy always loved Snoop. Puffy, once upon a time, loved the fuck out of Suge, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas looked up to Death Row. Everybody out of Bad Boy looked up to Death Row. You feel what I'm saying? I was in the studio with Total when they recorded Can't You See? Me, Corrupt, the Death Shack, and all that. You should have seen the way they treated us, my nigga. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't no such thing, nigga. They treated us like gods. You know what I'm saying? To see, we was over there freestyling, to see Biggie and all like looking at us like, oh man, that's the... Like to have, we got Biggie Smalls in all of us because Biggie didn't freestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't?
No, not the, see, what they consider freestyle today is a whole different thing. Today, freestyle is considered just taking one of your rote raps and rapping it over a random beat. When we was coming in the game during the 90s, freestyle was you had to make it up as you go along. You had to rap about something in the room, rap about what he got on. You feel what I'm saying? Rap about what's around. That's how you showed that you was busting off the top of your head. So we was having that little session, me, Two Scoop, C-Night, and Corrupt. You know what I'm saying? And we right outside the vocal booth, and Biggie wouldn't jump in. We was trying to get Biggie to jump in like a motherfucker, get in, jump in like a motherfucker. He was like, no, you know, like, I don't fuck around. Like that was, he was actually amazed by like, you motherfuckers is rapping about what's around in the room and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he felt that shit was dope than a motherfucker. Them niggas didn't have no problem. They liked it, West Coast niggas. They want to fuck with us, man.
So that really was the media painting those pictures. But behind the scenes,
that was all media. That was the powers that be, you know what I'm saying, in order to, they looked at that as a means to sell records. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember, hip-hop was based off beef. It was based off beef and battling, you know what I'm saying? Before that time period, you had LL Cool J, Kool Moe Dee, LL Cool J, Ice-T. You feel what I'm saying?
Cool J Cannabis.
Yeah, you had beefs in the game. So nobody, I don't think anybody who put fuel on the fire knew that it was gonna go to the level that it went to. Here's the thing. The level that it went to was majority based in hate and cutting off motherfuckers' water. Because again, not one nigga jumped on a plane and went and busted on nobody from New York. Not one nigga from New York came out to California and shot nan nigga. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't heard not one story even of a West Coast niggas going to do a New York show and getting packed out or getting beat up. You feel what I'm saying? You didn't hear about that shit out here. So really the East Coast, West Coast beef was industry and it was media. It was more so media because physically it was impossible. Physically it was impossible. You know what I'm saying? We too separated. When nobody is on that tip when motherfuckers is on tour. We over in Japan, we over in Europe. It ain't no on site. Oh, that nigga from New York, we finna take off on them niggas. You feel what I'm saying? I think the worst incident that happened might have been an incident that happened at Jack the Rapper with Fat Joe and Trey D and everybody in the Badass and the Lowlives.